Hey everybody, my name's Carlos Rodriguez, your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, aka your nerd today. We're starting this episode on a somber note. We're gonna do a little housekeeping. I'm gonna tell you about my little space right now, and then we'll kick it off into the sad news. But let's start off with giving a shout out to the people who support the channel. If you like what you're listening or watching, you can support me over at patreon.com/nerdaday. Link is down below, both audio and video. Like these lovely people. You get a special shout out at a certain tier. Like hopefully awesome, Matt and Maggie. Love you guys so much. Going through Beast Wars finally with you guys and small getting back to going back to Smallville. Sorry, my allergies are a mess. Jeff Felcher, brother from another mother, love you, brother. Susan, sister from another mister, love you so much, my BFF. Rest Pass, my partner in crime over at Abenwork. I was gonna say Patreon, but Abenwork podcast, our pro wrestling podcast. We're coming back soon, stronger, better than ever. And this new era of apron work is going to be starting off soon. And Brandon, who did this lovely intro as you saw beforehand, his cousin, big brother of mine, love him to death. Um, yeah. So before we get to the sad news, quick little blurb. I got a new area. We cleaned up a portion of our house due to government stuff. You'll hear it in another show that I recorded, but down the line. But yeah, so I have my own little space now. It's nice. It's a little play area. You can kind of see I blurred it out a lot, but if I put my hand there, it's a little play kitchen for my kids. There's a TV back here, so when we're hanging out here from like playing video games or whatever, my wife can watch the Phillies play. They've been on a amazing streak so far. But it's cool having my own little spot. We're gonna do little things, put some art up on the walls. My lightsaber, my collectibles will come down here and stuff. Try to figure out some of the sound stuff. If you hear anything crazy, again, I have like there's a whole air conditioning stuff right here. Like, let me know. Comment down below, and I can try to adjust that. I kind of like plugged in, just started going, especially with a new show. That's right, and then we're also starting a new show. I'm teaming up with some awesome people, and that's gonna be launching soon. Keep an eye out on my socials, and which are all listed down below. And yeah, you'll see me on some other new projects, which are awesome. Chaos Burger should be coming back soon with our rebirth episode. I'm trying to make that extra special. I'm going through the game at my own pace, but with cleaning and stuff, it's been kind of hard. I'm almost done. Everyone else on the episode 7 cast is done. So it's just me, and I want to see if I can get some guests on that one. If not, for the future, I have two guests in mind specifically. I would love to get them on content. But yeah, that's about it for all the good, happy housekeeping stuff. Now we got to get into the bad stuff, and that bad stuff is the state of video games. I've been really hesitant to kind of talk about Xbox and Bethesda and Activision. There's a bunch of episodes I did beforehand as stuff led up to the acquisition of Bethesda. And then when the rumored Blizzard, stuff happened, Embracer buying, all these companies buying, consolidating stuff. Um, but then things got a little crazy, with the advent of like so many court cases, FCC filings, and it just became so much. And every day was some new development. I touched upon, some rumored, consoles and stuff that we got from like Xbox leaks and things of that nature. And for the most part, I've been very positive, um, as much as someone can be when considering these corporate consolidation. I've been very adamant in saying that, hey, listen, I understand where you wouldn't like this. It is a lot. It's a big corporation buying stuff, but good guy Xbox this, good guy Xbox that. Um, I was wrong. Um, I'm human enough to admit that I was wrong. The veil has been lifted. Um, there's so many things that have been happening in the past couple days within Xbox specifically, and even weeks that have been very telling. Um, and there is a loss of faith and trust that has come. with Xbox. I'm not necessarily someone who's like, hey man, console warrior, whatever. I think the best games are where you play them. Um, I've been rooting specifically for Xbox because I think it's been good for the industry, right? We've kind of promised a long time coming, that Xbox is going to, set the ship right post Don Matrick, post Xbox One launch, and we haven't gotten there. It's disappointing. Down below are going to be three articles, which I'm going to be referencing as a lot of like bullet points here. Check them out. All the two writers I pulled from there are amazing. Please support them by checking out those links. And that's why I want to put a really good conversation that is from Kind of Funny Gamecast. I know I'm a big Kind of Funny stan, so it sounds like dumb to be like, oh, look at their videos, they're awesome too. I always talk about how awesome Kind of Funny is, but they really have a really great discussion um, about the fallout of all this stuff. So before we get into the Xbox stuff proper, let's kind of backtrack and go back to where a lot of this corporate consolidation stuff was happening. Right, it's been a really rough time in gaming, and it's been I would say it honestly sounds stupid when I'm like, hey, Xbox, if they buy Activision Blizzard, oh my god, they can make this game and that game and this game and that game. And maybe Call of Duty doesn't have to be every year. Maybe they have to do this, maybe they do that. Oh, they bought Bethesda. Maybe they'll, make it multi-platform. Maybe they do this. Maybe this is gonna be awesome. And then you see someone embrace them like, well, that's really worrying. They're buying every company and any company. It's like basically the two companies are doing the same thing and they both had some weird fallout. Embracer is no longer a thing. It's three different companies. I'm not going to touch on that in this episode, but like they got too big and basically exploded. Um, and it's because like they were banking on some kind of deal. It just fell through, and now look what's happened. Certain companies have been divested to other companies. Gearbox is like now owned by 2K. Dark Horse is under some other umbrella, limited run game. It's like a lot of things, but it's what we feared with like Embracer, right? But I never made jokes about Microsoft, right? I kind of hoped that Microsoft would Phil Spencer's leadership would be like this shining beacon. Like we'll get back to some good graces. They don't necessarily need to be the number two console. They don't need to do this. They just need to put out good games. They need to, bolster Game Pass. They need to do all this stuff. And I don't know if that's feasible anymore. Is Xbox Game Pass is still the best deal in gaming? I want to say yes. That might sound dumb. I don't know. It's difficult to say, but I think it's when you have something that can, I can play Halo and Gears and all this other stuff, day one, all this stuff. I think it's awesome to have. But now we're getting reports that, if your game doesn't do well, you're not seeing a lot of money. If your game does amazing the first month, but the second month, because something else came out and all of our attention, rightfully so, is like, let's say, I don't know, game A came out in January and we're like, oh shit, game A is awesome, dude. Like this game is banging, is awesome. It's fire, it's all that stuff. Let's go play. It's, oh my god, I'm obsessed with it in January. Beat it, all that stuff. Oh well, you know what? February is right on the horizon, and there we go. Persona 3 Reloaded, day and date on Game Pass. Well, all the hype that we had for Game A is no longer there, right? Like, obviously, so we have this subscription service, and maybe we're done Game A, and now here's Game B. So in Persona, if you're like a Persona fan, you're like, oh my god, I need to play Persona. I'm gonna play 70 hours of Persona. Well, now we're not touching A, right? And now A's losing money. They're not gaining money through Game Pass system, and that's kind of sad to see. It's hard. It's like I'm eating a lot of crow from a lot of previous episodes, and I have no problem doing that because I'm obviously wrong. The Game Pass model, I want to say there's a way it could work. I think there's somebody smarter than me who could get it to work. I don't necessarily think I'm that person. Um, I enjoy it still. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it. You know, I get so many games for the price of like, nothing almost. But now it's difficult, right? Because now what we're going to touch on is the biggest story that broke earlier this week. I'm pulling this by Wesley Yinpool at IGN. Headline goes: Microsoft closes Redfall developer Arcane Austin, Hi-Fi Rush developer Tango Gameworks, and more in devastating cuts at Bethesda. So the bullet points you have here: Microsoft has closed a number of Bethesda studios, including Redfall maker Arcane Austin, Hi-Fi Rush, and the Evil Within developer Tango Gameworks, and more in devastating cuts at Bethesda. IGN can confirm. Now, this is not part of the article, but it is worth knowing that Shinji Mikami, the guy who created Tango Gameworks independently, and then like teamed up with Microsoft, and like sold the studio and like made the studio, and they were their sole Japanese developer, where they wanted to make Microsoft more of a thing in Japan, or Xbox and thing more in Japan. Now they no longer have a developer out there, an in-house developer. He left like a couple months ago, 2-3 months ago. He's doing his own thing now. It's he responded on Twitter saying he's just heard about Tango, sad. Um, it's crazy. Continue on. Though Alpha Dog Games, the maker of mobile game Mighty Doom, will also close. Roundhouse Studios will be absorbed by the Elder Scrolls Online developer ZeniMax Online Studios. Microsoft currently valued at over $3 trillion. Let me repeat that again: $3 trillion. Did not say how much staff will lose their jobs, but significant layoffs are inevitable. IGN has asked Bethesda for comment. Microsoft declined to expand further when contacted by IGN. Wesley goes on to say, on Redfall, the disastrous vampire co-op game will now not receive promised updates, including an offline mode and new character DLC, as Microsoft has ended all development on the game. Microsoft said Redfall will remain online to play, and it will provide a make good, in quotations, offer for those who bought the Hero DLC. In an email sent to staff by Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studios, Microsoft blamed the cuts on the reprioritization of titles and resources. The email, verified by IGN, goes to say, and I quote, "Today, I am sharing changes we are making to our Bethesda and ZeniMax teams. These changes are grounded in prioritizing high-impact titles and further investing in Bethesda's portfolio of blockbuster games and beloved worlds which you have nurtured over many years, decades, pardon me. To double down on these franchises and invest to build new ones requires us to look across businesses to identify the opportunities that are best positioned for success. This reprioritization of titles and resources means few teams will be realigned to others and that some of our colleagues will be leaving us. Here are the changes going in effect. Arcane Austin, the studio, will close, with some members of the team joining other studios to work on projects across Bethesda. Arcane Austin has a history of making impactful and innovative games that's a pedigree that everyone should be proud of. Redfall's previous update will be its last and will end all development of the game. The game and its service will remain online for players to enjoy and will provide make good offers for players who purchase the Hero DLC. Alpha Dog Studios. This studio will also close. We appreciate the team's creativity bringing Doom to new players. Mighty Doom will be sunset on August 7th, and we will be turning off the ability for players to make any purchase in-game. Tango Gameworks. Tango Gameworks will also close. We are thankful for their contributions. Sorry, I cannot get that word out. To Bethesda and players around the world. Hi-Fi Rush will continue to be available to players on the platforms as it is today. Roundhouse Games. The team at Roundhouse Games will be joining ZeniMax Online Studios. Roundhouse has also played a key role in many of our recent game launches and bringing them to ZOS, which is Zen Online Studios. To work on the Elder Scrolls Online will mean we can do even more to grow with the million players we call home. I call that game home. Sorry. I'm just really just upset. This is honestly, it's just, I've been stewing on this for a few days, and I think initially I may have been just so fraught with it before that I'm like, no, we gotta talk about this. We gotta touch it. With this consolidation of our Bethesda Studios team so that we can invest more deeply in the portfolio of games and new IPs, and a smaller number of roles across the select Bethesda publishing corporate teams will also be eliminated. Those whose roles will be in fact impacted will be notified today, and we ask that you please treat the departing colleagues with respect and compassion. We will provide our full support to those who are impacted with today's notifications and through transitions, including severance benefits informed by local laws. These changes are not reflections of the creativity and skill of the talented individuals at these teams and the risk they took to try new things. Acknowledge that these changes are also disruptive to various support teams across ZeniMax and Bethesda that brings our games to market. We are making these tough decisions to create capacity to increase investment in other parts of our portfolio. Bethesda remains one of the key pillars of Xbox, with a strong portfolio of amazing games and thriving communities. As we look to the future, there's an impressive lineup of games on the horizon. 2024 alone, we have Starfield Shattered Space, Fallout 76 Skyline Valley, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and The Elder Scrolls Online Golden Road. As we align with our plans and resources to best set ourselves up for success in the complex and changing industry of our teams across Arcane Leon, Bethesda Game Studios, id Software, Machine Gun Games, ZeniMax Online Studios, and the Bethesda Publishing Incorporated teams will be positioned to build new IP, explore new game concepts, and expand on our existing franchises. Matt Booty said in a very booty email. See what I did there? Trying to make some levity in this horrible situation, but it's a very booty call, Matt. Um, it's just shitty. It just sucks, right? It just absolutely sucks. I'm gonna end I'm gonna end all this stuff, and I kind of want to break down more of my thoughts quickly. So the closure of Tango. This is it's Wesley speaking again. The closure of Tango GameWorks just hit over a year after the launch of Hi-Fi Rush, which many consider to be one of the best Xbox games in recent years. Tweeted in April 2023, Aaron Greenberg, VP of Xbox Games Marketing at Microsoft, addressed the concern that Hi-Fi Rush have failed to meet sales targets, calling the game a breakout hit for us and our players in all key measurements and expectations. Greenberg continued, "We couldn't be happier with the team at Tango GameWorks. Delivered with the surprise release. Hi-Fi Rush launched on the PS5 as part of Microsoft's new multi-platform push in March." Moving on, we're going to talk about another um, Xbox story that kind of popped the day after this. It broke 2 days ago, so this was yesterday, Wednesday, as of this taping, May 8th. This is from Jordan Miller at VGC. Xbox Perfect Dark reboot is in a very rough state, it's claimed. Speaking on the Giant Bombcast, journalist Jeff Grubb spoke about the game in the wake of the closure of several Xbox studios on Tuesday. The fallout from this is I've been hearing more and more that Perfect Dark is in a rough state. Sounds like in a very rough state. It doesn't sound like it's really coming together in any way. VG 24/7 journalist Alex Donaldson echoed this, describing it as a team really trying to push a boulder up a steep hill. Video game historian Liam Robertson said, "From what little I have heard about the development of the new Perfect Dark, it sounds like a future video in the making, just a big protracted mess." I think I mentioned this before in content. You try to go PG-13, but I think I'm gonna say the F word a couple times. It's fucking ridiculous. I think it's really insane to have seen what they created this special team out of Santa Monica for Xbox to create this stuff. They show off this trailer, which is fine. It's proof of concept of what Perfect Dark could be, their ideas, and then we just see them struggling and struggling and struggling. And then finally, we see, oh, we need help. So we get Crystal Dynamics to help us. It's like, okay, that's not necessarily worse. It's just kind of, you're a new studio and I guess you're doing something ambitious. And this is me, I'm going to say, being delusional. I don't know how game development works. I'll be honest. So if you're a game developer and you think that's fine and that works fine, please comment down below and tell me I'm wrong. Be respectful, obviously, but because I I don't know. It just seems like I was delusioned by the, oh man, Xbox just needs a win, man. They just need a win, you know. Hey man, Halo Infinite wasn't great or well received, and that's not even from me because this is how much I've played Halo Infinite. None. Um, I never beat the story. I love Halo. Um, it's we need to win. And how many Epic Xbox videos have I done on Nerd Today in general? Just talking about like, hey man, this might be it, man. Like this is the time. This they're riding that wave of what they did and how they fought back from Xbox One era, Xbox One X era, and now, oh, okay, well, the Xbox Series X didn't launch with any games, year one still a little rough, we got Game Pass though, we got Halo finally, it's a little buggy at the start, and there's little things missing here and there, and it really needed a hit, but it didn't. Well, there's other stuff here. I don't know, I'm just getting ahead of myself. And yeah, you have something like Hi-Fi Rush hit, and it's awesome. Um, but there's just difficulties when it comes with other stuff, right? Um, yeah, let me just finish this last little bit from Jordan Miller. This is a different article that he wrote today. Xbox Studio boss says it needs smaller, award-winning games one day after closing Tango GameWorks. Again, this is by Jordan Miller, VGC. Jordan goes to say, one day after closing Hi-Fi Rush developer Tango GameWorks, Xbox Studio boss Matt Booty reportedly told staff the company needs smaller games that give us prestige and awards. According to The Verge, Booty addressed the staff in a town hall meeting on Wednesday following the shuttering of several Bethesda studios. While it could be debated exactly how small the title is, by Microsoft's own definition, the platform holder has in the past described Hi-Fi Rush as one of its smaller games. Hi-Fi Rush won the 2023 CEDEC Award for Sound, the 2023 Game Award for Best Audio Design, the Tin Pan Alley Award for Best Music in a Game from the New York Game Awards, and a GDC Award for Best Audio. Oh, not including as well a BAFTA Award for Animation. Following the publication of Matt Booty's comment, Hi-Fi Rush director John Johannes seamlessly reacted by posting a screenshot featuring an exacerbated character from the game. So to continue on with Matt Booty and his booty takes, wow, what does a smaller game even fucking entail, right? In Microsoft right now, right? What does it mean to have a smaller game in their sense, right? I want clarification on that. I need to know because how can I root for a company and and this is what we get, right? Like what does this mean to have a smaller type game? This is a smaller game. Hi-Fi Rush is a smaller title, is a shorter title. It's well received and awesome and and I got busy, pardon me, with other stuff and Chaos Bringers and stuff like that. But and I plan on playing it. I get more. I got like a lot through, and I was loving what I was doing, and I put a lot of time, a good amount of time in it. But like, what, what, what does a smaller game mean for Xbox? I does it mean like anything under a Diablo now and a Gears and a Halo and whatever this Perfect Dark mess is going to be eventually? What happens and this is a good thing that comes up in the kind of funny discussion. We're 2 weeks out from Senua's Sacrifice, right? With Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 is coming out in 2 weeks. And I would assume that's a smaller game, right? But it's not positioned that way, as they mentioned on the kind of funny games cast. It hasn't ever been. It was like this is like a marquee title. This is the title that got shown off graphically with the Xbox Series X. Is the first Xbox thing we've seen for the next generation was Hellblade 2. So, what happens in Ninja Theory when that game comes out in 2 weeks? Obviously, it's coming out day and date on Xbox Game Pass, right? Cool, awesome. I love that, and I'm gonna play it. But like, what does that mean overall when it doesn't hit the way they want it to hit? What are their goals? What are their lofty expectations for this game, for Ninja Theory, for you know Bethesda, for um, Double Fine? They mentioned that in the Games Cast, like or Gamescast, pardon me, that like Double Fine is a smaller studio. Like, what happens when one of those games don't hit? Toys for Bob left Activision. They were granted their release from Microsoft and all when the thing went through, and seemingly it looks like they're working on the Spyro game, but they're able to because they're no longer with Microsoft. I, like many other of us, I think, that were hoping for wins for Xbox, were delusioned by this good guy talk, right? Um, it's reported that, I've never met the man, but that Phil Spencer is a good dude. He's also the president of a company, and good guy or not, I think there are corporation speak and corporate oversight and things like that that make you not the good guy. Despite how you try it hard, you know. I can't speak to his character, his metal, anything like that. All reports, it seems like he's a good dude, but it doesn't make this less frustrating, right? It doesn't make, as a recording right now, an hour ago, Sarah Bond talking about them launching a mobile app platform thing where the store where they're going to sell stuff, on iOS and Android. Um, it doesn't make it easy to see, old school Xbox people being like, this is not Xbox anymore. This is Microsoft. This is not the Xbox we worked on. This is not and the people who've been out of Xbox for a while, mind you, not people who just got fired, unfortunately, a couple days ago. Um, and I think there's a rightful frustration, right, that comes with seeing those comments from Matt Booty today, saying we need smaller games, we need smaller award-winning titles that garner these like success and things like that. Well, you fucking had it in Hi-Fi Rush last year. You and Aaron Greenberg, like Aaron Greenberg told Jeff Grubb when Grubb's like, "Hey man, I don't think this is selling." I was like, "That's the best title by all metrics and all this stuff." What are your fucking metrics? What are we doing here? What is going on? This I want Fable so goddamn bad. I did a whole video with my wife talking about how excited we are for Fable from just the teaser because we love that series and it's something we bonded over and it's something that we love and have fun with. And it's not life altering, but like we've been hoping for a Fable game, something that we can connect with, so we can like just chill with. We can buy that TV in front of this monitor upstairs, just hang out, play, joke around. And what happens if Fable doesn't hit? Because it's been a long time since we got a Fable game. It's been a long time since we got a good Fable game. So what happens when that doesn't hit? Does Turn 10 stay just a Forza, developer? Do they not get to expand and try new things with making an open world RPG or making something else a smaller title or something like that? The Coalition, like, are they just gonna be Gears titles? What happens when the Gear, like, I love Gears story, but what happens when the community is like, I'm kind of tired of Gears? And like, look at Halo. Like, what happens with 343? What happens with anything that we have now? We have Arcane Leon making Blade, but are they safe after Blade comes out? What if God forbid it's not good, or it's received poorly or less than expected, right? What if it's an amazing graphical combat, gameplay wise, but for whatever reason it doesn't hit a sales goal? What happens to Arcane Leon? You know, does Microsoft consider that a failure? Like, what? There's so many things in the air and so many random corporate ass speak that it makes it frustrating. It makes it so goddamn frustrating. This news this week. Um, and I'll admit again, I was wrong. I don't have trust in Xbox anymore. Xbox got to earn that trust. I think Paris said that perfectly, or Gary on Gamescast. They got to earn that trust, right? Um, do people need to leave? I don't know. Something needs to change though. I don't know like what's happening. I don't know what's happening over at Xbox. It doesn't seem like the Xbox that came out in the early aughts and took the world by storm with Halo, and all that stuff, and then created a 360 and took even bigger storm, and these incredible experiences. Of course, they fumbled the ball at Xbox One in the Dom Matrick era, and they tried so hard to get back, and like we've been waiting for so goddamn long. I have an Xbox Series X upstairs. I think I put it on a few times. I've been trying to make that my like third party platform gaming thing and have my PlayStation as my first party platform because they make amazing games. Um, I'm still subscribed to Game Pass. I have an amazing um I'm able to play like Bluey the video game with my kids and we have a fun time, or like very kid friendly titles on there, and I'm able to play Sea of Stars on my phone at work on my lunch break because of the power of Game Pass. um I just don't know, man. It's just so fucking frustrating as a fan of video games in general. It's so scary as well, and I feel for everyone who lost their jobs this week, and it's so scary to put yourself out there and get into a industry that we all want to be part of and we all want to live in and all these things, and to then lose your job. The uncertainty of that, seeing the changing market. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Um, it's a weird episode. I just want to get my thoughts out. I'm going to end it here. I'm going to say this, though. If you know, enjoy a game, shout it out to the rooftop, man. Like, shout it out on social media, tell your friends, tell your loved ones. There's so many awesome people behind these titles that make, our lives that much shinier and that much brighter and better, and just give us emotion or anything like that. That they deserve all the praise and everything like that. That's what this episode is going to be about, honestly. That's how I'm going to end it. Praise everyone that's out there. Keep an eye out for everyone who, you know, I don't know, that has worked so hard to, you know, make games like Hi-Fi Rush and Prey and, things that maybe I'd not like Mighty Doom, but hey, they tried. And, you know, Redfall wasn't a hit, but they tried. Um, there's a lot there, obviously. I don't think it was just them, but I don't know, man. That's a lot. I just hate ending it on the dour note. But if you see anybody online from that worked at these studios, man, shout them out. That's awesome, man. Um, just let's just be kind to each other, man. Let's just do that. And I don't know, man. The gaming industry is getting really scary right now, and we'll see how everything plays out in the coming days. Obviously, there's gonna be more cuts, but as I mentioned, all the links are gonna be down below for all the articles I mentioned and I kind of spoke about. Please check them out, and as well, I'll link the kind of funny games cast with Gary Whitta and Paris Lilly, where Greg speaks to them and they kind of react to the news of that day when it broke. So, catch you guys in the next one. I'll see you.